Hey guys, this is Discipling here with another video. Today, we're going to do mountain bike maintenance since I can't do all that much with my thumb. And then you can use the other side of the brush and kind of stick it in your rear chainring and derailleur, and then it'll get in between all those and make it all nice and pretty. Then you could do the same with your derailleur. Just kind of stick it down next to it all. It'll get it all cleaned up. That way your bike sounds all nice and good when it's rolling down the trail. And yeah, just have it all clean for when you go riding. So the next order that I go in is then I get my chain lubed, and every once in a while I'll get my seat post lubed, because if it's not correctly lubed, it can mess with how it all works. It sometimes won't go up all the way, it won't come down, it won't work the first time you press the button. It just depends on what kind of dropper post you have as well. So I go ahead and grab my lube here, and I just kind of dribble it all along my chain, right? Make sure that the chain is all nice and lubed. That way it runs smooth while you're pedaling. You don't have any problems with it. Sometimes you'll be hearing a really weird squeak noise whenever you go to pedal, and if you hear that, you're just gonna dribble some lube right next to the gears in your back derailleur, and make sure to really get that all in there, and that should get rid of the squeaking. The only other thing to check if it's still squeaking or making a rubbing noise after that is make sure your chain's routed correctly. I took mine to Shields to get the tires tubeless because I'm not skilled enough to do that, and they took my chain off, and the rear derailleur was routed incorrectly, and it was coming down through here and then up, and that'll mess big time with your bike. The next thing that I do is check tire pressure and shock pressure. Everything for shocks and tires is all air. It's not spring or anything like that. So, make sure that my front shocks are all pumped up correctly. Which right now they are nowhere near like before I started pumping they were at 55 psi, which I weigh 120, so that is way too low. It should be anywhere between 115 and 130 for me to be about right. So I'm just gonna be pumping this up. So I just got my front shock pumped up to 115 and it feels about right. So I'm gonna move on to the back shock. So my back shock I just pumped up not too long ago, and yep, it's sitting right where I want it. So I'm just gonna leave that one alone. I am not gonna mess with it or do anything with it at all. Okay? And now we go grab my tire pump. And again, this is all just to my specs. Everybody's weight is different and everybody's bike is different. Mine are tubeless, so I can run lower tire pressure if I wanted to, but this is about the same as I was running in my tube. Whatever. Probably about a year ago now. Okay, so there's my 25 in the rear, and then my front's anywhere. It's normally right around 21 in the rear. Just because that's where my bike handles well and it's easy to get it there. The front tire, I'm gonna guess, also needs some air. It always seems low whenever I'm going around corners and the berms in the backyard. Yep, it's just a couple PSI low. That's right about where I want it, right there. And then another thing that I do for bike maintenance is I clean the brake rotors, because sometimes they'll get dirty and not cleaned correctly, and it's it's no good because then your brakes don't actually help you out at all. So I just went and grabbed the rubbing alcohol and a couple paper towels. You're gonna get the paper towels wet with the rubbing alcohol and then go over and get your rotors all wiped down and pretty. So we'll see how well this goes. It shouldn't go too bad. It's pretty easy to do. So with my bike rotors, I get them cleaned each and every time. That way I have zero issues with bike riding. But see all that stuff that I just got off of my bike rotor? That's what's stopping you from stopping. That's what's giving you troubles when you're trying to stop. And see, you could use other materials to wipe this down, but rubbing alcohol does the best because it dries so quickly that you normally have zero issues with it. Alright, so I'm going to get these all clean, just like that. Ooh, pretty. And not as much gross stuff came off the front one as the back one. That's just fine. But yeah, that's normal bike maintenance, and normally I would get my whole bike sprayed off with a hose or something like that.